Hi guys, it's Stephanie. I'm here with Arianna today. She's a really good friend of mine. And also, do you want to talk about how we met real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
When we both got into Tisch, we went into Weekend on the Square, which is an NYU kind of acceptance day, I guess. Everyone comes in this one weekend in April before you decide to go or not, and you meet people. And Arie and I, we met each other, we said hi, we got to know each other for like 5 minutes, and then we never spoke again.
Ever.
Until this year, when we switched groups for studio, and then we were suddenly made aware of each other again. And now we're here doing videos together.
And it was just really funny because like both of us remembered each other but didn't know if the other one remembered the other one. So we like didn't say anything about it until this year. And
yeah, we were so afraid to talk to each other.
I was like, she's so cool, like I can't say hi.
So I'm still a little sick, so bear with me and my raspy voice, but Arianna's voice is like an angel, so she'll make up for it. So today we're going to be doing a Q&A video about what it's like to be a person of color at Tisch, specifically. We're in the same program, and I think we've had similar and at the same time very different experiences with our teachers and the education that we're receiving. And the biggest takeaway from this is the most important thing is that your education, you should have control over it. Don't just go with the flow of what the curriculum asks you to do, because sometimes it just fits like a cookie cutter mold, and you are entirely individual, and you should not feel like you have to fit into this mold because you're distinctly unique. And what you get out of this program, if you decide to go to Tisch, is entirely of your own agency and your choice.
No, I would completely agree with that. Yeah, and through the different stories that we share, you'll understand how we both kind of made sure to take that initiative so that we're happy with the training that we're getting. Yeah.
Alright, so without further ado,
let's dive into these questions. So we posted on Instagram and Snapchat to get some specific questions, and then throughout the questions we'll have our own personal stories.
Okay, let's go with why did you decide to get a degree in theater?
Okay.
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I have always kind of known that I wanted to study theater. It was sort of, I worked really hard in high school because I knew that that's what I wanted to study. It also, I've known since I was literally in like elementary school, so it kind of affected the type of middle school that I chose and the type of high school that I chose, because I knew I was going to go to a performing arts college, so I wanted the typical high school experience and the typical middle school experience. So I chose schools that had really great programs, but also had like a cheerleading team and a football team, because I was like, I'm not going to get that in college, so I wanted at least once.
Right.
But for me, it was, when you look, since I wanted to be an actor, I knew I wanted to be trained. And when you look at the type of people who just run off to LA to do film and don't get specifically trained, a lot of times they get pigeonholed in one specific area that tends to be more commercialized, which I didn't want. I wanted to be able to have some weight under me and have some credibility, I guess, when I was going in for auditions. So I knew that New York was where I wanted to be trained, and I knew that in college was going to be the most time that I could dedicate to being specifically trained. So that's why I picked up college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
It's a really kind of long-winded, complicated story, but to make it a little shorter, I went to a science high school. I went to the Bronx High School of Science. And my parents at first really wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, and I went along with it for a while, and then I realized that, wow, I'm really bad at science, and wow, I'm really bad at math, compared to my classmates, and excuse me.
Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, I found myself actually feeling really out of the loop and wanting to do something else, so I found the theater program at my school, which is probably nowhere comparable or in any respect to what Arianna's had in her high schools and stuff like that, but I loved it, and I did a chorus line, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then I told my parents, and they were like, what? Yeah, okay. But then as I was, getting into it more and more, I found that there weren't enough roles really that represented Asians, specifically like Asian Americans in musicals, films, TV, and even in literature. So I kind of wanted to be the voice that would tell these stories of Asian immigrants, or the Asian American story of these children of immigrants who are growing up in America as first generation Americans, or second generation Americans like myself. And yeah, and then I got into NYU and realized that this is what I need to do to accurately and like most truthfully portray these stories, and I don't regret going to my studio one.
Not even a little.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Oh,
I love
thanks.
that.
Yeah, I was definitely not a smart science kid.
Oh my
I like did the honors classes and stuff just because I wanted to get into NYU, but I was like that dumb honors kid that was like, so I'm here, pero like, I don't know what I'm
For
doing.
me, I didn't know I was bad at science until I decided to take AP Chem in my sophomore year without having taken like Regents chemistry first. So when I took it, I fell so flat on my face that I don't even know. I block it out of my mind because it was just so bad.
Me with calc, I'm like, it's gone. It's gone. I don't ever want to think about it again.
What is Tisch Drama's program, that their biggest contribution to our education?
Okay.
I think NYU Strasbourg, because the Tisch program is broken up into different studios for acting. But we got placed in Strasbourg, which is known for the method, not necessarily what everyone thinks is method acting.
It's not like going and becoming the character.
Yeah, no, it's not a Jared Leto.
Or Heath
Let
Ledger.
me put dead mice and mail them to you, kind of thing. No, it's very different. I think it's really hard to explain the method because you have to really do it yourself before you understand it. But after having done the training for 1.5 semesters now, which is maybe like a year's worth of training,
Yeah.
I think it helps you get down to the core of a character and explore kind of the possibilities from your own life that you can apply, and constantly, reuse and reuse to do consistently show after show after show, or scene after scene after scene, to produce the performance and the truth behind their lines and their motivation, to kind of play a character in the most accurate, truthful way that you can. I think that's like the biggest contribution. Of course, there are tons of electives that Strasbourg has had us take that helps create more of the reality in the scenes.
Yeah.
Especially with dialect work here and there, and even movement and embodiment. But definitely at the core of it, sense memory and the emotional, and figuring out the emotional life of the character in the given circumstances, using your own personal experiences and memories and such have really helped a lot in growing as an actor.
Yeah, I would agree. It's really hard to explain if you haven't been through the training, but I think Steph did a really good job of kind of explaining where we're approaching text from. I'd also say a really cool part of Tisch is that it's not a conservatory style.
Yeah.
So that's honestly a big draw to a lot of students, because when you think logistically, the people who are working the most right now are the people who are creating their own work. You think of Issa Rae, Donald Glover, they're people who are taking the initiative on their work and then making opportunities for themselves. So I think Tisch Education has done a really great job of making sure every artist knows that they can do that.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to take producing classes, like me and Steph are in a business of producing class. I took a self-start entrepreneurship class last semester that I fell in love with.
I really want to take that next year.
It's amazing, and the teacher who I'm taking it with is just so cool. And so you're meeting all of these people who are not only artists, but they're also business people, and they're also technically like knowledgeable about the technical aspect of creating theater, film, all of that. So it's definitely great not acting all of the time, because it doesn't mean that you don't love it, that you love it any less because you don't do it all the time. It just means that you need to be smart about how you're approaching your work.
NYU has definitely given us the tools to be a multifaceted, multi-purpose artist, as opposed to just doing one thing and being one-dimensional. And really, they just lay it out on the table for you, and it's of your own agency to take and pick up a tool and kind of learn how to use it, and then put it in your belt for your own arsenal to use when you exit, when you graduate and like enter the professional world. It's kind of crazy. I didn't think about that until now, but we're very lucky.
I would agree. Yay! Okay. Oh, we haven't been saying the names of the people. So those 2 questions were from She's Got Dreams on Instagram. Thank you, girl. Moving on to the next question.
Okay.
Elise said, do y'all have amazing friends?
Yes, Elise, you're amazing. I love you.
Yeah, I guess you are right. Yeah, I guess you cool.
I don't know what my life would be like without Elise or any of our close friends in our friend group. It's crazy because this last semester we just got together and figured it all out, and we're like, we're friends.
Like, legitimate.
We should be a group, and then now we are, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, switching the groups up was like the best thing that could have happened for us to all get to know each other.
For sure.
And 12 Angry Men finally getting to do shows together.
Yeah. We're gonna just cover this one real quick. So from Joanna Ford, is the area that NYU is located in dangerous, and would I recommend being a drama major at Tisch? No, the area is very safe, surprisingly.
It's the safest precinct in New York, which I know from my tours that I give at school.
Wow. That's new. We have really great campus security, though. Yeah. They will happily take you wherever you need to go. We have like the little blue lights that you can, if it's late at night and you need like a safe ride, campus security will pick you up from that location and take you back. I have not personally used them, but
I've used Safe Ride a pretty decent amount. I used it a lot freshman year, and I just used it the other day because my friend is in an apartment right by Reuben, and I was coming back to Graham, so I was like, let me just Safe Ride. And then it was really nice. It came in like 10 minutes and picked me up and took me home, and I was like, yay.
And it's nice because they work for NYU, and it's reliable.
Sometimes they definitely stepped up their game this year. Like now the wait for Safe Ride's like 20 minutes, when freshman year it could be like an hour, which was really annoying.
Wow.
But they really stepped up their game. It's cool because public safety has a really good relationship with the NYPD, so we get notifications if something has happened that's not even NYU student related.
Yeah, but it's very rare that something would ever happen on campus anyway.
Maybe once or twice a semester. Like it's really, really minimal.
Yeah. And then, do we recommend being drama majors at Tisch? I would say yes. I think it's such a great program, and no matter where you're placed, there's something for you. And I think the people who audition you, the what do you call them?
Interviewers.
Yeah, the interviewers. They're really good about sorting you into a studio. It's kind of like Hogwarts houses, but it's not. They're very good at their job, and they kind of see where you would be the best fit for, and 99% of the time students are happy with where they're placed. And I'm definitely very happy with where I am.
I will say it's definitely contingent upon where you get placed and if they placed you correctly. But most of the time, like Steph said, like they're pretty spot on every time they do it. But I do know a couple people who are in studios that they don't feel are the right fit for them. In those cases, you do have to stay in your primary studio for 2 years, but in extreme cases where you're like severely not happy and like are
they will switch
upset, they'll switch you. But yeah, I think that's why I always get questions from kids asking me like, oh, like what do I say in my interview? What do I do? And you like, you really can't try and tailor your answers to what you think they want to hear.
You just be yourself, and
yeah,
otherwise it only puts you at a disadvantage, because if you get in and you like kind of lied almost to the interviewer, then you're going to be placed somewhere that you might not want to be. Sometimes they even flat out ask you where you want to be, and that's very nice of them too, because they also take what you want into consideration.
Yeah.
But if you are the kind of person who just wants to sing, dance, and act all day and like do nothing else, choose conservatory. NYU is definitely rigorous in terms of training, because they have conservatory style training, which is very intense and very time consuming on top of academic classes that you need to take. And you can take up to 3 a semester, I think. So the workload piles up, but also they give you a wider variety of theater history for you to learn, so that your background knowledge of theater in general and kind of where things start to pop up and what you can draw from, it's a lot richer. And yeah, you can also, you learn all the different tools of the trade, and if anything, NYU's academic program within Tisch Drama helps you a lot for your professional endeavors, not just builds your talent.
From Juan?
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce your last name, and I don't want to get it wrong, but from Juan, and then I'll put like the name.
So you're going to NYU next year. Congrats.
Yeah.
Good to have you as part of the family. You give a quick rundown of the biggest do's and don'ts.
I'd say, so you're gonna get frustrated, especially being a person of color in a predominantly white environment.
Oh, yes.
So one of the do's, I would say, is you have to be vocal about what you need in your training in a respectful way. Because if you're coming at it like you're stupid, then people are much less likely to be receptive of the feedback you're giving them. So yeah.
Also, do be vocal about what makes you uncomfortable in class. If a teacher says something that rubs you the wrong way, even if it's coming from a good place and it's not meaning to be offensive, it's totally okay to say like, hey, that really bothered me, please don't do it again, just letting you know that, you know, it offended me. And 98% of the time, if the teacher is not a butt, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again, just, you know, I'm glad you informed me of this, and maybe they'll ask why and explain why, and that's a great constructive way to improve the environment of the studio or the classroom that you're in.
Yes. I'd say one of the don'ts is like, don't be afraid to reach out to different groups of minorities that you may not necessarily be a part of. Even though me and Stephanie are different minority races, are different minorities, we have so many shared experiences and different experiences that we're able to learn from each other and learn about how to handle things and have an open dialogue. So it's important to not only have people you trust in your own community, but also have allies in another community.
Also, don't be afraid to reach out to the administration and the teachers and say, hey, can I create a group that focuses on like different communities or different minorities, whether it be people of color, whether it be like an LGBT group, something like that. More likely than not, they'll encourage it because it fosters community amongst the students who are in your program and in your studio. But also it's a good way to get together and kind of voice out things that are either problems or things that are good and talk to each other. That's very important. Yeah, also do go and find material for yourself if you don't like what's being given to you. Like Tennessee Williams is great, but there's only so much.
So much Chekhov you can do.
Yeah. And in that regard, if you're taking theater studies classes, take a theater studies C class. I'm taking modern Asian drama right now, and I have this anthology of plays from Japanese, Chinese, Indian playwrights in the 1940s that I can even use in my scene studies in class. But that being said, sometimes the teachers won't have the variety that you want for your, your portfolio of plays or the scenes that you can do or monologues that you find. Go out and find them yourself. There are plenty of bookstores around here and places where they sell plays from people of color who have written plays for Asian Americans or for, everyone, really.
Yeah, I would agree.
At least for me, that's like my biggest struggle was finding material that I could use in my classes that weren't just me trying to be white.
It's it's definitely very frustrating. But it's frustrating too because you're like, I'm paying all this money to go to school. I should have a professor who can just give it to me.
Right.
But that's kind of the easy cop-out way of doing it. You have to be an informed artist, and if you want a specific thing, it sucks, but you just gotta plan a day and go out and read. That's why I'm saying it's really important to have friends in groups, because you can talk to people about plays that they've read, different programs that they've done that's been beneficial, so that you can learn from that too.
And last thing, don't be complacent and ride with the tide. It doesn't work that way. You can't just go with the current that's there for you, because chances are you won't be happy if you find that you're just constantly surrounded by white playwrights, white plays, and if you do get a role that's of a person of color, it usually comes out being a stereotype. And that's the last thing you want, is to perpetuate a stereotype. So take it into your own hands, find material that you want to do that you think is worth doing in your classes, and bring it into the teacher and just say, hey.
I'd say student films are also a really great way to work on material that's not necessarily like an iconic play, but it's really great to start working. There's a lot more diversity in film, I think. I think there's a lot, actually. And so there's a lot of people who are trying to get representation out for people of color, and it's really great for your soul to kind of have like a little time to do that.
Okay. We did it! Oh my gosh, it's our first video together.
It is!
I'm
so happy.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you aren't already subscribed to Arianna, which you probably are, subscribe to her. Her channel will be linked down below.
And subscribe to Steph.
As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye!
So coordinated, look at us.
Yay!